Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to a mini-series in Endless Legend 2. Once again, we are playing as the Aspects faction in this very early build of the game, and just a couple of episodes ago, we saw one of the key differentiating features of Endless Legend 2, and that is Tidefall. So, every handful of turns, we're going to see the entire planet covered in these monsoon rains, and then shortly thereafter, Tidefall is going to happen, causing the oceans of the planet Sayada to recede and reveal a bunch of new land for us to explore, exploit, expand into, and potentially meet new factions through, which might mean new friends and new enemies. So as a result of the Tidefall, we actually saw two fortresses that we cleared last session. One was up over here, and another one was down over here. We cleared those, got a ton of influence out of them actually, so that'll come in handy. And we also managed to complete one of our side quests finally by delivering a flask to this now pacified village. And apart from that, we are looking to take care of this fortress over here and potentially explore further this way. There is a chance that we might bump into these guys this way, or there's a chance that I might need to revisit this hex over here, because who knows, if we have sort of a single hex connection to, potentially also just these guys. Neither their coral nor our coral has spread to the point that we're actually able to see if we are, in fact, even connected, because truth be told, we might even be connected to somebody else from somewhere else. Though actually, I think I have explored the entire southern coast, and the northern coast is actually butting up against the, North Pole, basically. So, yeah, it's going to be either side over here, and I guess we'll find out soon enough. In the meantime, we are also looking to build 2 labs so we can continue this Knot of the Chorus main questline. And I'm thinking, why don't we go ahead and start with that? Well, first of all, let's get a quick refresher over here. We're currently researching geology, which will reduce the influence cost on founding camps, which is what I'm waiting for before I convert this coral spore into a camp, and then convert this into a city and connect these two to being one giant city. Because God knows we have the influence for it, but again, if I can save a little bit here and there, I might as well, right? So that's what we're waiting for over here, which means we do have a bit of influence with which we can go ahead and put down a couple of labs. And there are a couple of anomalies we can take advantage of over here for sure. And with the amount of gold we have, or rather dust, I should say, that we have, I might even just be able to rush them, but I don't see any purpose in doing that. Let's go ahead and skip through this tutorial, which for some reason decides to pop every time I load the save files. Again, folks, it's an early build, so there's going to be little things like that. It's not a problem at all. I just find it kind of charming, actually, in some ways. But yes, let's go ahead and build these basically back to back. This is an anomaly, right? And then we've got another anomaly. I don't know, I guess this is the only one I was thinking of. We've got a couple of anomalies up over here as well. But it doesn't necessarily mean these are better than anywhere else to build our labs on. I could build one down over here, and another one down over here is what I was kind of thinking previously. Let me see, is this an anomaly? No, this is the other anomaly I was thinking of. So this is actually prime location. Foundation isn't that expensive either, 38 influence. But I wonder if we'll get that benefit actually. Let's go ahead and purchase this and go to build our lab over here. 2 turns is all it'll take, plus 6 science total versus up over here. Plus 4 science. Yeah, okay, so it does count even though it is an adjacency from a different territory. So, we're going to build both of them. Let's go ahead and queue them up, I guess. Let's get this one down first for that 1 extra turn of 2 extra science, I guess. And then the next one will be popped up over there. And my goodness, we are really able to build quite quickly, aren't we? We're getting 50 industrial output per turn. That's fantastic. And if we take a look at our population real quickly. All right, nothing too wild here. Though I am wondering now if we don't take a look at cohabitating with the Black Hammers. Because if we start growing Black Hammer populations, we'll get +2 industry per pacified villages under Protectorate on the Keeps districts, which we won't be able to take advantage of. But also we'll get +2 industry on Scribes. And that means that rather than just having science and influence output from Scribes, we'd get some industrial output from Scribes as well. We'd also get access to their units and things like that, which feels worthwhile. And again, we have so much influence being generated now that it doesn't feel as bad to spend some on this cohabitation, potentially. Am I in a rush? Well, in 2 turns, we'll get some pop growth. Why don't we go ahead and do it? I think it's probably worthwhile. And I should maybe start investigating and investing in some keeps districts as well. Sure, let's go ahead and cohabitate with the Black Hammers. So it's going to cost us 5 influence a turn. Again, we're going to be fine. And we can always cancel cohabitation if we feel it's necessary. And now, if we take a look at Reefborn's population, I guess it's changed now 3 turns instead because we actually got 2 pops just by initiating the cohabitation. So fair enough, it'll take 3 turns. We could get an aspect pop, or we could get a Black Hammer pop. So the time frame remains the same between the two, but which one actually pops, which pops, I guess is what I'm saying, is my understanding is it's a bit of a dice roll. Let's go ahead and make this Black Hammer a scribe as well, taking our industrial output from 2 up to 4. Again, that industrial output is entirely new, and I could actually maybe move like one of these guys over to here instead. Yeah, to not slow down our growth rate. And again, obviously, we can just add more artisans instead if I really was chasing after industry, but I'm not. I'm chasing after science and influence, and I'm getting industry as a nice boost because we have the Black Hammers. And again, just as a reminder too, we are now also able to recruit their warsmiths. So these guys are melee units, 35 to 42 damage output, which is, oh, you know what, they're a good replacement for our sentry if I feel like going more melee heavy. Which maybe I will. Maybe I'll get another hero and I'll make them a melee-centric army or something like that. But, all right, 4 turns for these labs to be done, for Knot of the Chorus to be completed, for this stage of it, I should say, to be completed. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and explore. There's another pickup up there, another pickup over here. This fortress over here, which I might have mentioned already, we're going to be clearing as well, of course, with our full army. And, yeah, let's just take it one step at a time. Hopefully a bit more land to explore over here. Bit of science gain, good stuff. I'll wait until next turn or so. And our army is over here healing up. It'll take them a couple of turns to get topped up, but yeah, we'll be spending that turn in friendly, or those turns, I should say, in friendly territory, so that shouldn't be a problem. Worst case scenario, we'll swap one envoy out for another. The other thing I need to consider as well is, with this Tidefall now behind us, first of all, are we looking to chase after Bringer of Death, for example? We have eliminated 7 units. We're going to be going to fight this other fortress, so let's say that's got another 4 units. We'll be at 11. I mean, are we actually chasing this? Or should I be more actively chasing after Bringer of Peace? I need to find more unpacified villages, I suppose. There aren't that many. Got this one up over here. This one over here that we could pacify. Oh, it's already been pacified. Yeah, so we'll have to hopefully find more somewhere. But that aside, there was something else I was thinking of as well, which has completely slipped my mind. Oh, right. I was looking at strategic resources, and I was thinking about how we can upgrade our units, and I should perhaps consider researching some of this tech that allows for specialization. It does, strengthen our units quite significantly, gives them a lot more health, gives them a lot more defense as well. Same thing for the cavalry units, but there is that significant cost, obviously. Something to think about later. Let's go ahead and end our turn and see which way our coral spreads. Fair enough. Nothing too drastic or mind-blowing. Yeah, it's playing out its turns. Again, we cannot see what its units see, just what its coral sees. All right, and vice versa, obviously. All right, let's go ahead and push out this way. I'm a little worried. Yeah, figures. Okay, so almost 100% confident now that we are not connected to them this way, which means we'll want to come back and explore this potential connection. At the same time, though, this army, which is right here, I would much rather send them up this way to deal with this fortress. I think we'll probably be fine. How many turns until this tech is done? 3 turns. See, the concern now is that if we are in fact connected, because this is just a coral spore and not a camp, we don't actually own this territory. And so somebody else can come through and claim it for themselves. So if, again, we are connected here, there's a chance of that happening. The other thing I need to wonder about is, do I want to go to war with our kin here? Like, in theory, we want to work together and all that good stuff. But given that this is, an early build. I can only have one Tidefall. There's only we'll see the second Tidefall, but we won't be able to like play deep into it. So unless there's another faction sandwiched between us, the only other faction I'll be interacting with might actually just be the other aspects as well, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, that's the gift of procedural generation, right? And the question becomes, do I want to pursue diplomacy with them through and through, or do I prepare for war? The reason why I'm asking this right now is because I'd love your opinions in the comments, for one, but also because I'm kind of thinking out loud. We could chase after shared victory. Not that, you know, victory can be attained in this game. Shared research, deeper collaboration. We are able to get quite a bit extra through the use of coral in foreign faction territory. So, you know, that's an aspect we can explore, but that's a relatively simple aspect. We get more benefits for every exploited coral tile. That I think actually that only applies to non-aspect factions. So, you know, that's something to think about. And of course, separately, there's the declaration of a justified war, which would require us to reduce public opinion first. So I'd have to actively work towards that. Or if we didn't want to, you know, break our non-aggression treaty and start treating them poorly, the alternative option is to simply declare an unjustified war. And what that does is, well, first, it ignores public opinion. It allows you to just declare war at a significant influence cost. And then when the warring actually starts, the way the victor is determined is through war fatigue. And this kind of puts you at a disadvantage for that war fatigue. So that's always an option. I guess I'm asking the question because I'm wondering if I should cancel this non-aggression pact and start to deteriorate our public opinion so that I can declare a justified war. Or maybe I just don't care and we can just go with an unjustified war. That might just be what we do. That might be what we do. Okay, this guy's moved. This guy needs to move. I'm thinking I'd like to take care of this fortress first, and I'll let the AI decide. If they do claim this territory, that's instant grounds for war, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll give them that opportunity. And if they don't claim it, then we leave the door open for either direction. How's about that? So let's make our way over. Dang, you're slower than I expected. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, it's fun, because like obviously the coral is used to speed us up. So depending on where I'm trying to send them, it gives us a slightly different bit of pathfinding. Alright, sure. Get you up to there. You'll spend one turn not healing, and then turn healing up over here, and hopefully you'll get topped up enough. And that's this turn done. Oh, actually, they will heal this turn ever so slightly, because they are standing on coral. But it's so marginal. I feel like that should actually be increased a little bit, maybe. By the way, that's the turn. Really, no spore growth. Fair enough. Up over here, let's go ahead and pick up this curiosity. Learn that we are, in fact, yes, at a dead end over here. And let's go ahead and pull back. We can't take on this fortress with just one unit, obviously. The next Tidefall will obviously reveal some land over here, some strategic resources as well. I believe that is Lazualin. There's a strategic resource here. There's a strategic resource up there, or I think that's just an anomaly. Strategic resource up over here. So we have some bountiful lands just beyond our coastline here, and this is a good example of how Tidefall makes you kind of think ahead, where you're like, okay, well, I know what's coming up and how I should maybe prepare for it going forward. Maybe I'll claim a territory accordingly. Like I would know that, okay, claiming this territory would give me access to this up over here. Claiming, this territory would eventually give me access to this up over here, because somebody else might be thinking the same on a different landmass elsewhere, right? So it's kind of interesting how it changes the dynamic of expansion even before Tidefall happens. I just think the mechanic is fascinating. Oh, right, of course, we were building those labs. So cheaply they were built, so quickly they were built. Now what comes next? My lord, the most learned philosophers have completed their examinations of Xenos. They are at a complete loss. How can this be? We have the body. We have the mind. We bring them together. A harmony is created. A voice is added to the chorus. Since the first aspect, there is no other way. Xenos remains as mysterious as the first day we laid eyes upon them. Some begin to say that Xenos hides something. Confused as I am, I will not stoop to rumor and suspicions. Leo Grammel. There is no place for that in the harmony. We will maintain the harmony for all aspects. Very well. So we are investigating this Xenos character who came through and seems to be disconnected. Has no connection to our, hive mind. The chorus a hive mind? Anyway. But we're not connected. We can't read their thoughts. They can't read ours. And so we're trying to figure out what's going on over here. Either way, we have gained some dust per population across, I guess, our entire city. Again, just as a reminder, we could have chosen a different path as far as our objective was concerned. That one would have involved exploring more of Sayada before we completed the objective. This would involve building 2 labs. We obviously chose building 2 labs because I want to build more labs anyway, but also it was, definitely going to be the faster way forward. Nonetheless, what comes next? Days pass with Xeno striking a miserable figure among the bustle of Reefborn. The chorus swells and strengthens, but its joyous harmony is unheard by the outsider. Territorial has heard reports from the escorts that Xenos mutters dark prophecies during his periods of fitful rest, nightmarish visions of a broken world of unending deserts. The outsider weighs heavily on my mind, Krytalon. Xenos contradicts everything we know and believe about ourselves, our society, and now they babble about a coming doom. I wouldn't hold much stock in some wanderer's ravings, my lord. The dieback broke many good souls, but I wonder if maybe Xenos was one of us, years ago. How could that be? An unwanted juvenile abandoned to the waves? An unfortunate accident that cut them adrift? Contact with these new monsters that roam the lands? Ah, they might have grown up alone and in silence until their island was no longer a prison. And their dark prophecies? Meaningless nightmares. This sort of trauma can do strange things to the mind. The sight of the falling seas would do something to an already troubled spirit, and perhaps bring these visions of a desert. We must learn to understand Xenos if we wish to understand ourselves and our world. I wonder how we might do that, Pytalon. If I may be so bold, my lord, right now our priority should be seizing lands, not speculating on mysteries. Lands that suit us. Wise counsel as always. I have not forgotten the dieback, or our weakness. To study any of these questions, we must still be alive. Very well. So we will get the Shawl of Tranquility if we claim Sodeltan. Feels like a simple enough quest. Sodeltan is where? Oh, come on, really? Must we? Not really worth claiming this one. We also just walked past it. Right here. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. We'll claim it because... Sure, I guess it makes sense too. We'll send one of these guys over. First of all, cancel your move. We can complete this like right now is the thing. There's also a curiosity to pick up over here. Trying to figure out where I would want to put this coral spore and a camp down. That's the thing. We have to put down the camp to actually claim it. Alright, here. Alright, I guess you've decided to continue onwards. Fair enough. So we've got... Ooh, healed up. Cool. What else have we got down over here? Here, we'll move down this way. I want to pick this curiosity up as well. What I'm waiting for is the research to be completed, I suppose. I could build a coral spore without waiting, I guess. I could put you down here, I guess. Any reason to go anywhere else? Let's see, coral spore. This becomes a camp. Eventually, it might become... I mean, this might be the right place for the spore, actually. Because once it becomes a camp, if we attach it to a city, at least the tile itself is exploited before we do any expanding. But if we do put it down here, that's one less place where we can put down a farm that's adjacent to a river. Decisions. I'm thinking that I'm overthinking this. Let's go ahead and put this coral spore down over here. And make sure this is, in fact, Sodeltan. Sodeltan? Yeah. Why did it have to be this one? Could have been any one of these others that we're actually planning on claiming, but no, it had to be this one. Fair enough. I do want to make progress on that on this main quest though, so we are going to chase after that. We're also going to go ahead and pull this guy back, make sure he ends up at max HP, which he already is. Form these guys up into one army. You're not actually going to do that, right? Interesting bug, this. No, they're going to go this way. Cool. But back to Reefborn as well. Let's see what we want to do next. I mean, wondering if I want another observer instead of having that envoy join this army. Nah, probably not. Let's see what districts I could put down. We're looking good for industry. We could always put down more labs. I could also, right, of course, the community improvement has already been built, and you can only build, most improvements can only be built once per city. Some improvements can only be built once per empire. So we cannot build a community over here as well. It has to be one of the others if we want to build an improvement. The other option is to pop down another farm over here. I have to claim it. It's not been claimed yet. 88 influence, not that bad. Yeah, we'll get another farm down here, help with the growth rate a bit further. You want to be careful about growth rate as well, though, because if you are overpopulated, if you don't have any slots left, overpopulation will result in issues, in shanties being formed and things like that. So there is a limit that you want to, stick around. What else have we got, actually? We've also got like these trading posts, right? To build roads. Roads will be built automatically between districts containing a trading post. Any other benefits? Plus 2 dust for each adjacent merchant's house districts. Plus 2 dust for each adjacent resource deposit. Where is our merchant house? We've got one somewhere here. Is this our merchant's house? I think so. We have to claim one of these. It's a lab. Oh no, this was... I was trying to forget what I've built where. That's our merchant's house, yeah. Alright, cool. So I suppose I could... I wanted to build a lab here because it's adjacent to another anomaly, right? And I'm not in that much of a rush for a road. It's adjacent to 2 anomalies, actually. This one down over here and this one up over here. So sure, this has to be a lab. I'd be a fool not to make this a lab. And this one will also have to be a lab. I'd be a fool not to make this a lab. In fact, let's go ahead and buy this foundation and set this to be a lab right now. Cool. It just makes sense. Like, these are optimal positions for the labs. Okay, that's this turn done. Moving on. Geology researched. Excellent. We've got persuasion queued up. That'll allow us to do what? Force a treaty and build consular missions. I'm wondering if we don't pull back and do like Iron Games 1 instead to get a hero from a draft of 4. Or if we maybe consider chasing after... Well, mine shafts don't feel essential because we don't have easy access to these like strategic resources, these mineable strategic resources. Otherwise, we'd get the titanium mine, the glass steel mine, and just be able to mine those resources, obviously. That's what a mine does. Dust lytics, this is interesting. Plus 4 dust on City Hall, plus 2 dust on Ministry. Lithosphere Gallery, Dust Refinery, and Gilded Halls. So you'll see Dust Refinery gives us plus 1 population slot on citizens, plus 1 population slot on artisans. That's what I'm talking about, where you can add more slots to the city so that you don't receive those penalties from being overpopulated, but you do have to get those techs in place. So there is a sort of balancing act there. The other thing I'm thinking is, like, do I want to take advantage of these district buildings, right? Like, I never did research stonework. It'll still take 7 turns, eh? By the way, stonework gives us access to Stronghold. Plus 20 district fortification, plus 5 approval per pacified village under protectorate, plus 2 industry per pacified villages under protectorate. +1 influence, so that's for every district. Decisions, decisions. All right, let's chase after the geodesic dome. We have the resources for it. And it'll accelerate the rate at which we do research. 13 turns. That's because I've got you in this order. Let's flip that around. 7 turns. Sounds much better. All right. What's going on? You up over here. Well, you're going to make your way over. Everyone's topped up, I think. 126. Yeah, everyone's topped up. Cool. So, we'll make your way over that way. We'll regroup en route. And I think we'll attack this fortress from this direction. Oh, actually. Got some trees up over there. No, I think we'll attack this fortress from this direction, and that way we'll be able to hopefully secure this high ground and fight from the high ground and just take all these advantages. We've got some trees and stuff over here as well that should provide us some protection. Yeah, so we will want to attack from this way, as opposed to attacking from this way, which would probably corner us up there, not give us any high ground. It would give us some trees for protection, but no high ground or anything. Or coming in from over here, which would actually give us the low ground, I think, primarily. So, yeah, we'll come in from this side over here. You've got to move. Go ahead and skip the rest of your turn. And that's our turn done. Let's go ahead and evolve this into a camp. Finally claim this territory and get these guys as a potential target of cohabitation as well. Just as a reminder, even though we have pacified them, until we actually claim the territory, they can't be a protectorate. Let me fact check myself over here. Let's evolve this into a camp. Yep, it'll continue generating coral, of course. And right, we still can't cohabitate. This needs to be attached to a city, and that's next steps, right? This is going to be turned into a city, and then we're going to go ahead and attach up here. In fact, do I want to do that right now? And is that still the play? I want to turn this into a city. It'll get growth from this anomaly over here. We'll be able to put down a bunch of works all around us, take advantage of the industrial output of the territory immediately next to us. Yeah, so this is the one that's going to be made into a city. And this will be attached instead. Do I want to do it right now? Yep, let's go ahead and do it. So, in fact, in doing so, not only will we be able to get the Xavius as a potential target for cohabitation, we'll also get the Unseeing Seers as a potential target for cohabitation, because we'll have this territory not just claimed, but it would belong to us, as will this territory up over here. So, let's do it. Evolve into a city. Done. Start things off right away with chasing some higher industrial output. Because yeah, this is going to be a slow process otherwise. Let's start up over there. Because if things are looking good enough as we move up this way, I might actually want to use this tile for a lab instead, because it is next to an anomaly, right? But that's good. Eventually, I might attach this as well. We'll see. But for the time being, let's take a look at our population as well. Move you over to artisans. Take this from 7 turns to 5 turns. That feels like the right call, to be honest. And let's go ahead and get Erad here attached for a cost of 200 influence to Longshore. Yep. Done. And now if we go to look at cohabitation, we'll see both the Unseeing Seers and the Xavius. And these guys' population gives us +5 approval. Cool. These guys' population gives us +2 dust on active monsoon, +2 science on active monsoon, and +2 influence on active. So basically, when a monsoon starts, I might want to cohabitate with them. And when the monsoon ends, I might want to cancel cohabitation with them if I really want to be like picky with getting their... Or I guess I'd want to get them joining before the monsoon starts and then cancel cohabitation immediately. Yeah, okay, fair enough. There's a few ways to approach this then, I guess. Nonetheless, I'm in no rush to have additional cohabitants. We'll leave it be for the time being. But yeah, our territory grows. Good stuff. We are also going to take a look at building one of these 3 options that we researched a while ago now, over here as an improvement on our capital. We've got the Sanctity of Nature, the Beacon of Science, and the Spire of Industry. Two of these require strategic resources. One of them very much does not. But even though their impacts are different, with this one being a science focus, this one being sort of a generalist approach, and this one having an industrial focus, the one thing they all have in common is that they add a city level to the city, which means that we get +1 attachable territory. And that will allow us to attach, probably Ashrusk to the city. Again, I'm not in like a super rush. We'll let these labs get finished first, and then maybe we'll invest in the, actually, I guess I could queue it up right now. There's no cost. We'd get the Beacon of Science going here. +10 science, +3 science on lab, and get that +1 attachable territory on city. Sure, let's queue you up. It'll be done in 13 turns. And then we can take a look at expanding into Ashrusk, as I said, because it's got another anomaly here. We'll get more pacified villages. Lots of benefits, I think. And this like massive like river that we can put a bunch of farms down next to, right? To try and grow the city faster as well if we feel it necessary. Yeah, Reefborn looking good. Reefborn's looking good. But let's go ahead and prepare for this fight over here. Move you over. All right, the next couple turns will go a bit faster, I think. You're going to skip your turn again. Down over here, one more turn. Fair enough. There's that coral spread. A bit up over there as well. And since we're done over here with our coral spore, let's send you exploring up this way, buddy. And see if my theory ain't right about the situation over here. I'm pretty convinced. Pretty convinced about what I'm seeing there. All right. Are we ready to attack? Almost. Dive in. And next turn we will attack. Right, I need to evolve you into a camp to actually claim you. All that influence gone. All that influence gone. I mean, we'll get it back up over here. I was tempted to seize this this land instead, but seeing that it's actually a dead end, we'll just use it for influence instead, and I'll explain again what I mean by that shortly. But let's go ahead and evolve this into a camp and complete Knot of the Chorus, or at least the next stage of it. Do you feel safer now, my lord? New lands lie under your control, ripe for coral. Do I detect dismay, Xenos? We do what we can to maintain the harmony and grow the chorus. I am happy we secured fertile lands. A doom is coming to this world, my lord, fields of coral or not. Anything involving the old ones seems to come to an unpleasant end. The old ones, whoever they are long gone. We will brace for the coming storm and find a new balance. Got ourselves the Shawl of Tranquility, giving us the +3 intuition, and Strength of Union. When equipped, adds 10% defense to all units of the army. Oh, I am glad we did this before we dove into that battle. I don't think we'll need it, but, it's still nice to have whatever buffs we can have. But let's, again, see what comes next. Stranger's Call. Xenos' identity and their bleak prophecy still troubles Plurigira. They have bigger concerns to occupy their mind. The retreat of the waters is a new nightmare, on top of which rivals vie for the riches of the newly revealed seabed. All the while, strange corrupting beasts stalk the lands, and hostile empires and tribes threaten bloodshed. Plurigira suspects they see the work of the Old Ones. Apologies for the interruption, my lord. We have yet another intriguing visitor. That may become the motto of my reign. They are a green scion traveler, Udemil, who claims they have information about Xenos and their clan. I thought you should speak. Welcome, Udemil. May you live in harmony. We live for the work, not harmony. The work requires effort, time, but I come to speak of Xenos. Interesting. What do you know of Xenos? We are many. Our gardens are many. We see much. I can tell you much. However, we need your help, your might. Help cull the doom wraiths who terrorize our gardens. Then I will tell you all. Beasts ruin the harmony. This act will serve us both. Let us move. Now I have to destroy a doom wraith, unlocking the faction trait Coral Spore creation via Tormented/Rift. When an Aspect Empire gets rid of a Tormented, either by killing it or hunting it down, or when an Aspect army closes the last tile of a Rift, we're able to generate a Coral Spore, which we've already seen allows us to spread coral. Cool, let's go ahead and begin this quest, of course. And, There is no Doom Wraith that we can see, so hopefully we come across one relatively soon. But before I forget, let's go ahead and take a look at our equipment here and see if this shawl isn't worth replacing the spyglass with. So the spyglass gives us +1 determination, which we do use for our active skill scoped shot over here, right? 2 extra damage per determination, but +3 intuition. I actually don't know if we use intuition for anything. Do any of our skills use intuition? Yeah, 1 extra damage per chance per intuition with guiding light adds 5 damage to non-hero range units of the army, which, I mean, that sounds good. But also the strength of union, this plus 10% defense to all units of the army sounds just great. So let's go ahead and swap that in and end the turn and dive into this battle. Right? Right. Tiny bit of coral growth over here. And in fact, before we do dive into the battle, let's push you guys a little bit further up. I just want to know the truth about this situation over here. Yeah, there's definitely land over there. Question is there more land over here and over here and over here? Interesting. They haven't spread in our direction either, so their vision isn't helping us answer that question. But let's answer this fortress. Reality itself groans and bends under the weight of the atrocities unleashed in this dark complex. Only those of sound body and mind should risk entering. So we're looking at 574 versus our 702. We should be fine. We might lose a unit. I'd rather not, of course. Have we lost a unit yet? Can't recall. But I don't want to lose one here. So we got a Tyrant of the Forest. We got a Mighty Ranger. We got 2 Harpers. So the Harpers are ranged units. And these guys are definitely melee units. Bit of gold. Some equipment, and then again the option to either seize or plunder. So this is what I was alluding to earlier. I was kind of hoping to seize this prison and turn it into a camp right off the bat, take advantage of the science generation we now get due to our recent technologies we just researched. But I mean, do I need 600 influence really? Or am I okay collecting it at 23 per turn and securing this camp over here? Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and try and attach another... Oh, you know what? Yeah, that does get expensive. Because I'm hoping to attach that middle territory to Reefborn soon-ish, right? We're still, what, maybe 10 turns away from being able to do that. That's about 230 influence gained right there, which is probably around what we need. So, sure, let's go ahead and seize this. Yeah, I'll stick to my original plan. Let's go ahead and seize this, produce coral, get that extra science output, so on and so forth. The fighting itself stays exactly the same. It's just a matter of what the outcome actually is. It determines this one reward. All these rewards will remain the same either way. Our spoils from the battle will remain the same either way, but it is just a matter of this one additional reward, if you will. Do we want influence or do we want this camp? And I think let's go ahead and get this camp for free. Well, unless we lose some lives. Let's go for it. Okay, beautiful. We are, in fact, all the way back to the high ground over here. This will allow us to create some interesting choke points as well, I think, actually. We are as far back as we can get. No, we can get a little bit further back. Let's pull you back. Let's pull you back as well. We'll draw them out and come out on top, I'm sure. All right, manual battle it shall be. Let's dive on in. I'm going to try and, draw them out and... use this to my advantage as best as possible. If we can fall back enough, then we can actually put units down over here and fire from back over here. Let's see. Or do I want to put units up over here? No, because see, if we put units up over here, we can get attacked from multiple angles. Though they only have the 2 melee units anyway. Yeah, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and pull... Do I need to block this off is the other question. This is lower ground than this is, so I don't want to necessarily do that. Pull the archers back to here and here. Pull the hero back to here, maybe. And pull our melee units back to here. That seems like the right call. Okay, sure. Pull you back to there. Pull you back to here. Pull you... back to here. just want to check strength of union, 10% defense of all units of the army, guiding light, 5 damage to non-hero range units. Okay, 1 extra damage chance per intuition. Okay, cool. I was just checking if there was an adjacency requirement there, because then I would, in fact, stand next to our or like I would stand in the central location instead. But nope. So let's go ahead and pull you back to here. Pull you back to here. And let's remember to make use of our harmonious tactics, right? That's what allows us to put one unit into a defensive stance and buff every other unit's attack. And if we put a bunch of units into defensive stance, then those buffs stack, right? So let's just not forget to do that. Go ahead and end our turn here. Allow the enemy to creep on up. Come on. Yeah, there we go. That's a fun animation. In fact, these guys all have fun animations. Look at that. A little roll for their move. I love it. Are they in range? They will not be in range. Am I tempted to chase after them out over here? I am, but I'm not going to do it. We're going to hold our line and let them come to us. Move of 3. Alright, so we might eat some hits over here, but if we go into defensive stance, we should be okay, I think. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. End the round. Everyone defends. You guys are going to come up. You're going to pop some shots. Wait, did that do no damage? I think that did literally no damage. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? And a tiny bit of damage there. These guys coming through. No damage there, looks like. And you're going to come up over here, looks like. No damage? Oh my goodness. I think we'll be okay. I think that shawl is doing some heavy lifting and keeping us alive over here. But sure, let's go ahead and put you into defend. Get that harmonious tactics. And let's finish the little guy off first, I think. We should be able to. Start with the cavalry. Down this side. There we go. Good hit. Very good hit. Got a crit. I think this guy will just barely survive unless we get a crit over here. Yeah, no luck. Alright, finish him off. I mean, barely survive the one shot I meant. But this guy's going to try and hit over here, presumably. Oh, actually did some damage that time. It's okay. We're okay. What are you going to do, buddy? Same thing. They've actually found a soft spot, I guess. Maybe that was the furthest they could move previously, so they targeted whatever they could hit, even though they couldn't do any damage. Because it looks like they get, yeah, this inspiring strike thing, right? So that makes sense. Go ahead and pop you to defend again. Get you... What do I focus on? I feel like I should focus down on that guy, you know? 42 to 52 versus 56. Alright, let's pop that shot. I don't think we'll finish him off over here. And I might regret not having eliminated one of the other units instead. Well, let's push in and get these guys, what's it called? Oh, I forget the name of the debuff. Unfocused, I think it is, when there's a melee unit next to a ranged unit. So let's go ahead and pull you down. I was really hoping for a crit. I keep forgetting about targeting. Oh, that barely did anything. I'm gonna eat some shots back over here, but I don't think that's gonna do too much damage. I mean, it'll do some damage, but it's not gonna kill us. It will end up damaging us, like putting us into damage status. So let's go ahead and defend. You're gonna go ahead and eat some shots from... Really hoping a single strike would finish him from somebody, but no. Pop that shot. Pop this shot. Go ahead and hit up over here. Beautiful. And finish that off. Yep. Excellent. Excellent. Go in. Good hit. And marked means that the chance of taking a critical attack gets taken up to 100%. Which is not bad. Alright, what do we got? Ton of veterancy gained, a bit of experience gained as well, up to level 6 now. Ton of dust. Got the heavy mace, which we cannot use. Darkhorn mail, +1 resilience, +50 health, +5 defense, all on the hero, and then Flask of Dustfire. Cool, sounds good to me. What horrors did you find in the depths? We cleared a fortress, indeed we did, Plaragira. And there is our new camp. Again, it'll be a coral spore as well, so we will start seeing coral grow from out over here, so worthwhile. Let's go ahead and pull this army back as soon as possible to fully heal up and move in this direction. Alright. Gotta find this Doom Wraith still. Bit of coral growth up over here. Let's take a peek. Yeah, there it is. 1 hex. Now, I mean, I guess this could still be a dead end, but I'm fairly confident in what we're about to find. Fairly confident. You're gonna make your way over. Ton more coral growth. That's more like it. That's more like it. And now we're building the Beacon of Science, which will allow us to... Actually, I should probably put a camp down over here, or at least get the coral spore down over here somewhere. I'm thinking... What am I thinking? Where am I thinking? Nowhere's like perfect. Everything's got like its pros and cons. I guess I could put you down over here. And the camp location itself won't be that beneficial, but we'll have the adjacency to take advantage of over there. Oh my goodness, there's also this anomaly down over here. Yeah, expand our foundation cheaply over to here and here. You get a farm down, you get a lab down. Hopefully the coral will push down this way. We can get another lab down over here eventually. Another lab down over here. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go ahead and pop it down over here. Let's go for it. And God knows we could afford it, so go for it. You're going to keep exploring. Bayfish Springs. Dang, 9 food, okay. Clax Deposit. Hey, what do you know? Strategic resource for us. And up over here, Ancient Bunker. So that's all in this one region. Okay. I might want to claim this one before somebody else does. And attach it to Longshore when we get that upgrade in place. 25 turns, my goodness. We do need to build something here, though. Let's go ahead and build another works up over there. Because that's certainly going to be what's going to hold this city back. And we knew that going into it. Guess I should probably build a foundation here. You know, take advantage of all these boons. Trying to see if there's anything else I should rush towards. Nothing in particular. Cool. Cool, that's that turn done. More coral growth. Attitude change to friendly. I thought we were already friendly, but perhaps I'm forgetting. Very well. Continue poking and prodding. What do we have here? Another fortress, it looks like. Another splintered prison. So, I mean, I guess I could claim this pretty easily and potentially block the AI from advancing. You see they're putting a coral spore down over there, so they're claiming... Oh, they might be claiming that. Alright, I gotta get the army over here quickly to seize this splintered prison and claim that land. Wish I wasn't building this spore over here. 2 turns is a long time. Yeah, let's go. We can claim this later. It's uncontested. We can claim it later. 6 turns it'll take? 6 turns? Holy, 8 turns? We might not make it. And the thing is, we need to heal up as well anyway. So 1 turn here, 1 turn there. It might be enough. And yes, I'm aware that our hero has leveled up. We'll deal with the leveling later. Alright, end our turn there. Material Sciences Research, so we can get the geodesic dome going. And otherwise, let's go ahead and chase after what? Yeah, I wonder more now if we don't want to think about advanced military capabilities. That is, again, if we're planning on going to war. And again, I'd love to hear what you think we should do. Let me know in the comments below if you think we should, in fact, turn a bit towards war, or if we should continue the role-playing and maintain peaceful relations with the other aspects. Oh, that's a unlock win-win. In the meantime, let's go ahead and pursue dust lytics, just to generate more dust. Again, not that we necessarily need it, but feels prudent. And let's keep on exploring as well. We've got to be careful because there is a hostile minor faction over here, the Foundlings. So I don't want to get this guy wiped out because he's just exploring. And I guess that's what we see the AI constantly dealing with. Or maybe this delegation is struggling against the Splintered Prison. They actually have 2 full stacks. 2 stacks of 5. So if I am going to take these guys on, I will need to actually build up properly. Yeah, maybe it is time to start militarizing a little bit. Maybe. These guys are still making their way over. Yeah, okay, good. They're already topped up on health. Beautiful. Still haven't found this Doom Wraith, though. Maybe up over here? We'll see. Minor covered. Ocklings. They've been sacked. My goodness, these guys aren't very diplomatic at all. Okay, so it looks like this territory that they've just built the Coral Spore in, if they claim it, Solaris, they'll only get up to here. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Longshore, you need something to do. 23 industry, that's not bad. Put a lab down over here, perhaps? Yeah, let's put a lab down. Sure. Still generating 4 signs for us. And again, the benefit of the camps, right? Because of our tech. Another reason to just put camps down kind of everywhere if we want to. Got plenty in. Now, I'll bring that envoy back to actually secure this. In 3 turns, we'll be done the Beacon of Science, so any time not spent owning this territory is time wasted, arguably, but the plus 10 science, plus 3 science on lab is still a benefit. So not too fussed. Not too fussed. Way over, more coral growth up there. Now their coral grows out this way, okay. Poking and prodding. Our period of isolation is over, says this other Plerogira. They revoked their border closure. Very well, I didn't realize we had closed borders. I will do no such thing. They're welcome to. But I will not. Ooh, a titanium deposit. This one region is so bountiful. I should really claim that. Yeah, alright, let's pull these guys back. Let's claim this territory. And then we'll claim this one by virtue of seizing this splintered prison, I think. Alright. We need to make our way over. Ready, that's fine. Territorial is proposing the Cartography Exchange Treaty offer. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So, first of all, when it comes to this battle, which angle do we want to come from? There is no high ground here. There is some low ground here. So we might want to come from that way, but honestly, I don't think... Oh, we might want to come from the bottom because there's some low ground there as well. I don't think high ground, low ground is going to make a difference over here. I don't think the angle is going to matter all that much. in terms of high ground, low ground, but if we come from this side, we might be able to create a choke point here and protect all of our ranged units. So I think that's what I'll go for. So let's go ahead and move up to there and prepare to strike at this fortress. Looks like we'll make it here and claim it just fine without any issue, which is great. And we'll move these guys back as well. And find a sweet location to put down a coral spore and evolve it into a camp to claim this location as well. But the interesting thing now is that Player Gira has come to us with this proposal, which would either draw us closer if I accept it, or keep our relations as they are as far as public opinion is concerned if I don't accept it. It'll allow us to see everything they've seen, even beyond their coral. It'll give us a vision of everything they've seen so far. It won't, if I recall correctly, stay up to date. So we're not going to be like able to see everything their units see going forward, but we will see everything they've seen up until now. That might help us find this Doomwraith much more easily. What is this? Quest ruins. Ongoing quest, the missing. Am I able to peer into their quests and stuff as well? That's interesting. Either way, so there is some benefit to sharing all this. The downside is that it'll become a little bit harder to declare a justified war, but again, we always have the option of the unjustified war, right? I'm going to say I'd love to hear your thoughts on that war question. And in the meantime, I'm going to call it a session over here. And next time, we'll go ahead and take on this fortress and secure this territory for us. It's not much of a choke point, actually, because the enemy AI, well, the AI will still be able to claim this and this if they wanted to, but we've made it all the way over to here. I'd like a camp to generate that extra science, so why not? So we'll go ahead and do that. We might even pacify these guys, these foundlings, see what quests they have to offer us potentially, and then we'll also, yes, claim this territory, because my goodness, there is so much stuff to take advantage of over here. The magic of Tidefall, man. You're seeing it right now. I absolutely love how it keeps you on your toes. Like, I imagine the AI was only able to expand up to here, right? And Tidefall is what exposed all this to them, which is why they're rushing to it as well. And we're rushing to, well, we ended up rushing in the quote-unquote wrong direction, the direction where there was no competition for, right? And that was because I thought we might be connected over here, but nope. Eventually, a second Tidefall might see us connected over here, but for the time being, nope, it's over here. And so we have this, like, this race for territory. I really love this mechanic. I absolutely do. But folks, like I said, this is where we're going to call it a session. I hope you had a good time. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. But otherwise, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.